Hi, a very good evening to all of you. Today we are going to discuss this particular question. This is an opinion question that we are going to discuss. And this is a recent exam question too. It was asked for the exam last month for the computer-based test. The question goes like this: governments should make people responsible for looking after their own local environment. Do you agree or disagree? Is it the responsibility of the government to make its citizens to look after their local environment? It means to preserve and protect their local environment, to maintain the cleanliness and tidiness of their local environment. Is it the responsibility of the government? Or the question, if I go with some specific way to explain, now there are different ways to make people responsible to look after their own local environment. So do you think that government should be a part of such initiative? So do you think that government should make people responsible for looking after? So, or else if I see it the other way, is it not, should governments be a part of this program in making the local people involving in the environmental protection and cleanliness? So the question is very clear. What is the role of government in making people? Should government be involved, or it should not be responsible? It means individuals can do their own. Societies, communities can do their own part. Government should not be a part. Government should not make people responsible. It's not the role. Government has no role there. Is it? Or government has role? This is the question. So government should be responsible, or do you think any other organizations like individuals or communities or the local societies can do that? So this is a question. The role of government is the question. Is it the responsibility of the government in making people responsible for looking after their own local environment? So the question is addressed well. In the introduction, we have two sentences there. The first sentence, it is the paraphrasing of the first statement part of the question. So what is there in the question statement part is reproduced here in the first part of the introduction, but we have made it simple. Now, do you agree or disagree? I agree to this view wholeheartedly. So we have the introduction complete. I have the thesis. What you are going to see here is that I agree to this view wholeheartedly, completely agree. So we are going to write 3 body paragraphs. Agree, agree, agree. So we are not going to write anything else. We are going to write all agree paragraphs here. So let's go with the first particular paragraph. What is there in the first particular paragraph? The first and foremost reason is that the failure of the non-governmental initiatives to protect the environment. So other than governments, there are several organizations which are taking the responsibility of environmental protection, and most of these initiatives are seen not to make any major impact in the society. So this is not making any desired impact, no major desired impact. So it's not proving good enough. Now we have the explanation here in the two sentences coming. Several attempts were made by the local residents and communities to preserve the environment, such as overexploitation of resources, pollution, and other adversities. One such example is also given there: plastic segregation and recycling by various residential associations, which were found to be inactive, and this can be seen as the pertinent example. So so we have initiatives from the part of several organizations, non-governmental organizations such as plastic segregation, recycling. So all such things we have later we find to be inactive. So this is what we can say, the ineffectiveness of the non-governmental initiatives. Let's go with the second reason, is the effectiveness of the government. The second paragraph is about the effectiveness of the governmental intervention when they are involved in this. When they are involved in the environmental protection, it will be most effective. No other organization can be as good as the governmental initiatives. But this is what explained in the second paragraph. Because they have the potential to frame and execute legislations regarding environmental protection laws. They don't have difficulties in framing laws, publicizing laws, and penalizing those who don't align with this. They don't have any problem. It's their system. They have an organized system. They can execute it very easily. Now let's go with the third particular paragraph. If governments are not taking the responsibility to tackle burning issues such as global warming and climate change, which are the results of inappropriate environmental protection, imminent catastrophe is awaiting the human race. So it is a responsibility of the government. Governments have to make serious initiatives, because if they are not taking the responsibility, the issues may go global issues, global warming, climate change. So if I am taking initiative to protect the local environment, it's okay. If it is not taken, the issues will be going global and it goes serious, and all of our lives will be in danger. And this is what we have said in the third paragraph. We have examples like torrential rains, extensive wildfires, flood, desertification. All these things are examples for the catastrophes that we are going to expect. Now, let's go and conclude it. To conclude, owing to the imminent necessity of nature protection, we have the pressing need to protect the environment. I feel the best part, the government, it's best for the governments to be responsible in making people looking after their own local environment. With their systematic, educational, and legal approach, they can educate them, they can make awareness among the public, and they can penalize them if they are not aligning to the environmental protection laws. So with their educational policies, with their legal approaches, they can make this happen. So they have the responsibility. Completely I agree to this statement, and that's what the explanation is.